what's going on with Walmart, IBM, Kohls, and something that hasn't happened since the Great Depression. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. Got a lot to cover in this video, actually more than what I just mentioned there. Battered by inflation, 90 million Americans struggle paying bills as credit card usage spikes. As you can see here, quite a few people are using their credit cards now, and it's went up quite a bit since June 2021, up to about 40% rate now. 90 million Americans. Obviously not looking good. Of course, looking at what's going on with negative real wage growth, considering inflation and your wages, it's been 2 years of you losing money, losing at least buying power. Probably a better way to put it. But so we're seeing a lot in this realm. We're seeing, of course, cost of living through the roof as well. I'll get on the screen a little bit better there. As you can see, it's at an well, it's not the all-time high. What was the all-time high? Back in early 2022 is the all-time high, apparently. We're trying to match that, of course, right now. But obviously, we got a lot to cover in this video. It's not looking good, though, for the average consumer. Those being hit with inflation, the wages haven't increased in 20 years as it is. And then on top of that, inflation continues to rise. While your wages have been flatlined for 20 years, I don't think that's going to work out too well. I think your buying power is just a little bit lower than it used to be. Of course, also on top of that, IBM paving the way towards getting rid of jobs. 7,800 jobs will be replaced with artificial intelligence. Pauses hiring certain positions. Now, of course, what kind of jobs are we talking about, folks? Well, obviously, it's far more than people realize. You have fully automated Whole Foods, fully automated McDonald's now. You have doctors that are actually artificial intelligence at this point, folks. Quite a few jobs could be gone in the future, 5-10 years from now. You'll be making sure a robot behaves itself instead of actually doing a job. You'll be watching the robot do a job, right? There'll be like 10 jobs watching robots instead of 1,000 jobs doing the work itself, like it used to be. Of course, artificial intelligence working with robots. Walmart closing a batch of stores in 2023. Of course, they closed I think it was 300 or 400 of them in 2022. And they're not talking about very many at this point closing. This year, it's a fraction of that of last year. And I think it's going to be much higher than they're saying here. They're only saying so far 21 stores of recent. And I'm like, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Because, of course, they closed 300-400 last year. Obviously, they're going to be closing a lot more this year, I think, as well, considering how things are going. And they've been complaining about the fact that people just buy food and don't buy any actual products at Walmart anymore because people don't have any money to buy anything other than food. And even then, they're using credit cards to buy food. JPMorgan says failure to reach debt limit deal could cause a worse stock sell-off than 2011 when the S&P 500 fell 17% in 2 weeks. Yeah, and I'm just kind of curious where this will lead. I'm guessing they'll probably pass it like they did literally almost 100 times before. But sometimes it doesn't work out. We'll see what happens. Could this be the beginning of the stock, crash? And I'll think it'd be a lot higher than 17%. It'd probably be like 30 because it'll just be a cascading, you know what I mean? Considering all the other stuff going on right now. Easily could be like something like that. Of course, there's a top level investor that just came out. I can't remember his name. There's been 3 or 4 of these guys coming out. One saying that by December, S&P 500 will fall 30%. There's other ones that have said earlier than that. Some have said June. So I was thinking June. I don't know. We'll see. But, of course, probability that U.S. banks will restrict cash withdrawals is rising like mercury, says macro guru. Okay, what does it mean by restrict cash withdrawals? I mean, honestly, it means cash. Of course, you could still use a check or your debit card, or maybe even transfer money from one to another institution with a cashier's check or whatever. But if you're trying to get cash out, it might be difficult in the near future. There's a number of people saying this could happen. You have Hugh Hendry saying this. On Stansberry Research, the Danella Cambone show, Hendry said that the Federal Reserve's monetary policy has increased the probability that banking customers could one day face restrictions on the amount of cash they can withdraw. We've already seen that a little bit. I think it was sometime, it was on the tail end of 2022 where there was ATMs of certain banks that were limiting withdrawals. And of course, it's just a glitch or whatever, right? You know, or perhaps they were just trying to see how people reacted so that when they really do need to do this, they'll know sort of what will happen, what will people, response to it. I'm thinking that could be part of it. I don't know. And so the question is, are they going to do that? I kind of feel like they probably will eventually. I don't know if it will be like this month, 2 months, 5 months. I don't know. I'm guessing probably before the end of the year they're going to do it at least some. And the question is how much, especially if all of it just comes home to roost at once. It could be all at once. And it could be just like some of these banks that went under the very next day, the day before, they're like, yeah, everything looks great. We got everything lined up. The CEO of First Republic, whatever, you know what I mean? Silicon Valley Bank comes out and says, everything's fine and dandy. And then very next day, oh, they had to sell it off in the morning while you were asleep. It's like, really? It's already gone? It's like overnight. Everything looks fine. It looked fine 5 hours ago. Banks tighten credit terms, see loan demand drop, Fed survey shows. So obviously they're going to be tightening credit. I'm surprised I still have my business line. I don't know. Maybe it's because I have a good standing. I mean, like, because I have zero on the business line. I used to have like 30,000 like debt on it. I've had zero on it for like 5, 6 years, 7 years. I don't even know. It's been a while. But you would think they would just get rid of it because like I'm just sitting there with a business line. I don't do anything except for like once a year. I think they yearly they have some sort of fee I got to pay them to keep it. But I don't know, man. Of course, also I have like a credit card with like, I think it's like 8% APR or something. It's like really low. It was a 7 or 8. I don't remember. It was like really low. It's like super old. I'm just amazed that they let that one keep going too, considering inflation's probably higher than the interest rate on it. I don't know, man. So obviously we're seeing things going on with that as well. And of course, I should mention we're still doing, and I haven't been able to put out a lot of videos, unfortunately. Sorry, folks, for that. I plan on putting a lot more out from now through the next month, like usual, like before. This month hasn't been that good. But we're still doing this Kickstarter. I mentioned we've been working on a game for 2 years. It's 50% done. It's a VR game. We have one of the top programmers in the world working on it. We have guys that worked on Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty asking them for help on how to do stuff. This guy knows more than they do. Of course, they worked on a standard game. They didn't work on a VR game. So this is a VR game. We're actually going to make a standard game too out of this. So that's why we want to bring these guys on board. We have, I don't know if it was 6 or 7 programmers. There's multiple programmers coming to us. We didn't go to them. We didn't say, hey, we're looking for a program. They came to us. We're like, we like your game. Looks awesome. We actually want to work on this. And they want to join the team. And if they do, then we can finish it a lot faster. So, of course, we have to pay them. We're trying to raise $500K here, folks. We actually have a lot of we haven't hardly at all promoted this Kickstarter or Indiegogo here. I've been the only one, and I haven't even put any videos out hardly, unfortunately. But we have a number of interviews lined up to fill this up. And of course, also we have some multimillionaires that said they're interested, or at least seem to be interested. I think there's like 4 of them potentially that could get, even one of them could probably fill the whole thing. At any rate, but we wanted to get you guys on board first. Like I said, link is in the description for this. And you can earn money on this potentially. Share of profits from Noah VR. You put 400 in. We already have 54 out of 500 claim this. And again, I can't say we're going to have a home run. I don't know what it will be. It's hard to say. But there are indie games that have made $200 million in a year. I mean, it sounds insane, but it's happened. So we even showed examples of this in the past when we did interviews and had them on the channel. But I mean, even if it makes $2 million, you're going to be making way more. You're going to make multi-fold over the 400 you put in. So only 54 people put that in. I mean, just to give you an idea. So at any rate, link is in the description if you want to join in. Of course, you could also get a copy of the game and a shirt, putting 58 in. There's a lot of other options, actually. There's tons. You can even get your name in the game, in the credits. Lots of other things. Link is in the description. We're going to be making a VR version, and we're going to also, this is sort of get our legs in the door. If you understand business and marketing, which of course, this is what this channel started. It was a marketing and business channel. And now I just talk about business, what's going on, in the news and stuff more now. But back then I used to talk about how to do this, how to do that. And, I mean, honestly, the fact of the matter is, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying. I was trying to say something important. I don't even remember what it was. Maybe I'll come back to it in a second. I hate when that happens. Yeah, so what was I trying to say? Oh, yeah, okay. I was trying to say how we got to get our foot in the door. Okay, so Xbox, PlayStation, they all are very much desperately in need of VR games. And the VR games are not that high par or that good quality. Ours is actually way ahead of a lot of the ones that are out there, like way ahead. And ours is way ahead of the ones that won awards like a few years ago. I mean, so it's a really high level game. And like I said, we have 6 or 7 programmers that actually want to work on it from like top level games like Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, etc. The point is though, since they're so desperate for these type of games, us putting this game out quicker, we can get it on board with these companies on their consoles very quickly, and that will get our foot in the door to where we can put a standard game of the same thing out as well, which is very easy, by the way, because we can easily port it from the VR to the standard. Okay, not the other way around. No, you can't. But VR to standard, very easy. Standard to VR, no. But so we're doing the VR first, and then we can port it over to standard very easily, and we'll have both versions. And that thing, I mean, could easily become a hit. It's kind of like an Indiana Jones meets Lord of the Rings type of game. Anyway, link is in the description. Of course, also Food Supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description for that. And of course, this book here, Lost Ways, How Your Great-Great-Grandfather Lived Without Electricity, How to Build a Cellar, Do Things Around the House Like They Did in the Old Days. When we didn't have to worry about things that are like we're worrying about today, like social media, all the crazy stuff going on with of course, that. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the video. So you get the idea. There's a lot of links below, even gold and silver. Links in the description. Of course, Americans' perceptions on best long-term investment. Gold looks like it's finally raising. I'm just amazed. Look at 2020. What in the world? How is it people thought? I think I know why people thought this in 2022. I'm thinking I'm thinking they looked in. So they started seeing things weren't going well around 2020, and people were like, okay, we got to start investing. We got a little bit of money. Let's invest in gold and silver. Oh, we're broke again. And also, we're not seeing gold and silver rise as much as we expected, so not really interested. Now they're seeing gold and silver rise. Like I said, it's up way past 10%. I think it might even, I don't know where it's at, 12, 15%, whatever it's at, above what it was at the beginning of this year. They're like, oh, I see it's going up. Even though I got no money, let's go buy some, right? So this is where people are at. You're going to definitely want to get some if you haven't. Link is in the description for that, appmex.com for gold and silver. Right? And actually the price is down right now a little bit. So you might want to get over there and check it out, folks. Link is in the description. The price is down a little bit right now. 0.02%. Not a lot, but a little bit down. Enough to you want to get yourself over there and buy it before it goes up again, because it's going to definitely go up. Some are saying it can go up double what it was at the beginning of this year. It's already up about 15% over the beginning of this year. If it goes up over double, you just wait, expect the crash. When the economic crash, when that happens and all the stuff just comes home to roost, watch gold and silver and see what happens. All right. Link is in the description. Of course, also my website, your videos. And we're going to get back to the video, but I've been putting up videos over here as well. Link is in the description. I have all my videos that you might have missed from Sale Daddy over there as well in the membership section. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get up much over here of recent this month. U.S. deposit outflows accelerated last week, led by small banks. Of course, this is what is this? A few days old, but it's still, we're seeing it for what was this? Last week. So, yeah, it would be last week. Would it be last week still? Let me see. Is that correct? Yeah, I think, is this last week? It's either last week or the week before. I'm not sure. But, before that, it went down considerably on outflows. But now it's starting to rise back up again. I'm kind of curious what the latest figures are. And I'm trying to read this. This thing's really hard to read. It's really blurry. I can't tell what exact numbers these are. This is a different one here. What is this? Commercial bank liabilities deposits. Oh, okay. There we go. It's deposits fell by 26.4 billion during the week, ending 5/10. Okay, so this is a different graph though. Yeah, okay. 5/10. What week ended 5/10? Okay. Yeah, so at any rate, so that's a different graph, but you can see it's not doing well in that respect. It's still going down on deposits. And the question is, where is this going to lead to in the end? I'm kind of wondering because you have everything's connected, right? And you can see everything's on the edge right now. You got the economy's on the edge. You got jobs on the edge. You got these banks on the edge. Everything. It's pretty much everything at this point. And of course, also they're talking America's biggest bank, JPMorgan Chase, is everywhere. And it isn't done growing. You know what, though? I'm actually kind of concerned about it because I told you Jamie Dimon kept coming out saying things that just didn't make any sense. I mean, it might make sense to the average, guy doesn't really pay attention, but the fact of the matter is, he was saying one thing and then a few days later he'd say the exact opposite. And I'm like, why is this guy even talking? Why are you talking, dude? You say that the bank problems were over with when you bought First Republic. And then literally 5 days later, you're like, when are they going to fix these banking problems? I'm like, this guy is literally contradicting himself. Why is he even talking? Is there a reason? Is he concerned? And that's what I was kind of thinking is maybe he's concerned. If he's concerned, he's over the largest bank and he's concerned. That's kind of weird. I thought this guy was telling us everything was hunky-dory. I'm actually thinking it's worse than I even thought it was. Considering the fact that he's head of the biggest one and he's acting a little weird. Kohls set to report quarter one earnings. What should we know? Probably not good. I'm going to just take a wild guess here, folks. I know JCPenney's has been in bankruptcy for a decade. And I mean, Kohls is a little bit better run. Okay. I know a little bit about JCPenney's and Kohls. Kohls is better run. I mean, JCPenney's is still kind of between Kmart and Kohls. I mean, they're haven't caught up with technology fully. And they're loads of debt for JCPenney's. I mean, they're so top heavy is not even the right word. Just beyond ridiculously top heavy. Kohls is doing a little better, but I don't think it's going to be a good sign when you see what I'm sure they missed their projections. I'm guaranteeing that. Revenues is pegged at 3,519 million, suggesting a decrease of 5.3% from the prior year's quarter's reported figure. Jack's consensus up estimate for the bottom line has moved from a loss of 43 cents to a loss of 44 cents per share in the past 7 days. Of course, it's going to go down a lot more than that probably, or potentially once the numbers come out. Significant deterioration for earnings of 11 cents reported for a year ago period. Kohls has a trailing 4-quarter negative earnings surprise, 105.8% on average. And this company is running better than JCPenney's. I don't even know how JCPenney's is even around anymore still. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked that JCPenney's is still there. What is up with that? They're been in bankruptcy for a decade. Why are they still around? I don't even understand this. It's like really weird. They must be doing something. Like it's like Office Depot. You know, Office Depot, the only reason they exist is because they have their printing center. If they didn't have that printing center, they would have been gone like 5-10 years ago. Guaranteed gone. But Office Depot is still around because they got the printing center. And then, of course, all the rest of it in the store is just, kind of, bonus on top of that, I guess. It gets them in the store, it gets some eyes on the computer. And you know what? Honestly, it works because I've went over there and I bought stuff myself. I went and print something out and then I'm like, maybe I should buy something. Oh, yeah, maybe I'll buy a drive or maybe I'll buy whatever, It works. It works. I mean, that's why they're still there. But I don't even, what does JCPenney's do? I mean, I know they got deals. I think that's what it is. They got just never-ending deals. But how do you make money off, 40% off? How do you make money off that? I don't even know how they make money off that. They must negotiate crazy well with their suppliers. That's got to be it. From a business perspective, that's the only thing I can think of. Because they should have been gone a long time ago. I don't know how they're still around. They're doing something right. They're doing something. Somebody's got there's some genius behind something there. I don't know what it is, even though they're losing. Shutdown, store closures, 2023 updates. Walmart, among several other major vendors, closing locations as retail apocalypse predicted. Troubling reports has found that businesses may close up to 90,000 locations, not 9,000, which is the amount of Walmarts in the entirety of USA, if I understand correctly. And actually, that's not even correct. That's not even actually correct. 9,000. When you say 9,000 Walmart locations, that's not even normal. If you're talking normal Walmart locations, it's like 4,500. They got their little extra dinky locations they count as well. And they closed like 400 big locations last year out of 4,500, which is a pretty sizable number. They're talking here stores. 90, almost 100,000 locations of various stores will be closing in the next 5 years. 100,000, almost. That's insane. I mean, what do we have? I mean, how much of the city is this? What is this like? I'm wondering how big this is. Is this like half? Or is this like a quarter? Is this a tenth of all the stores in the entire city? I'm thinking it's more than a tenth. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm thinking at least 10%. That's got to be at least 10%. And of course, when they make these predictions, they're trying to be positive, right? They're not even telling you like the worst case. They're like telling you like this is the positive number, folks. This is like only 90,000. It's only 90,000. It's not 200,000. It's only 90,000. So don't worry about it. Everything's fine. It's okay. You'll actually have a supermarket maybe in your city. You never know. Link is in the description for food supply if you need it, just in case. Yeah, I gotta laugh at this, folks. Gotta laugh. The real reason stores such as Walmart, Starbucks are closing in big cities. Nordstrom, Walmart, Whole Foods, Starbucks. Even automated Whole Foods are closing. These big chains and others have closed stores in major U.S. cities. Exorbitant rents, online shopping. These are reasons why. Glut of stores, people working from home, crime. I think they should have put crime first. No, maybe inflation first, then crime second. I don't know. Difficulty hiring workers. Anyway, you get the idea. So there's that. And then truck drivers, of course, as well, facing slowdown. That could be worse than 2008. I've been hearing some rumblings about this, that truck drivers are not liking what's going on. They're not getting enough loads. They're not paid enough. And you got to wait hours just to get a load when there's nothing. I mean, nobody's buying anything. And then on top of that, they don't make any money delivering these things anymore. Shoestring budget, folks. This is what we're seeing. And people are buying less. And if 90,000 locations close, what's it going to do to the trucking industry? Right? Slowing U.S. economy is hitting truck drivers, and the sector could be heading to worse conditions than 2008. It's going to be worse, dude. It isn't rocket science. Come on. I've already shown you like multiple graphs that were already way past 2008 in various sectors, various things, various aspects. We've already passed 2000. Bank, for instance, the amount of money held by banks that have closed down in 2023 versus 2009, I think it was. We already shot way past it. We already shot way past it. So you get the idea. Kind of want to see what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.